Have you heard about a T visa, but you're not sure what it is, if you qualify, or how to apply? Well, stick around to find out. Today I'm going to explain to you what a T visa is and everything you need to know about it. T visa stands for trafficking, as in human trafficking. Now, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't apply to me, because what do we think of when we hear about human trafficking? We think of those big stories on the nightly news, like about a prostitution ring or sex trafficking or a factory being busted. Under U.S. immigration law, there are many other things that count as trafficking. This includes labor trafficking, this includes domestic violence-based trafficking, and this even includes smuggling, which turned into trafficking. Now I'm going to tell you all about these types of cases. First, let's talk about labor trafficking. If you're an immigrant and you've been exploited or taken advantage of by your boss, if you've been not paid on time, not paid fair or well, if you've been treated differently than the American workers, you may be a victim of trafficking. My clients often tell me things like their boss flashed a gun at them or their boss threatened to call immigration and have them deported. My clients are often being forced to live in unfit living conditions, often tiny little houses, maybe basements, or situations where they have no food and no water. They're also being forced to work overtime, and they're not paid for that overtime. They're being made to work longer hours and additional shifts beyond what American workers are asked to work. Labor trafficking is incredibly unfair. Just because you don't have papers to work, you still have to be treated like an American worker under our labor laws. And that's what most of my clients don't realize. They think that the labor laws will only protect them if they're an American citizen. Even if you're an immigrant without papers, your employer has to treat you fairly. Another type of visa is known as smuggling turn trafficking. This is when you hire a coyote to bring you across the border into the U.S. You pay the coyote and the coyote brings you in. That by itself is not trafficking, but oftentimes when I'm talking with my clients, I learn that they were also forced to do work while they were being brought to the U.S. and also once they were on U.S. soil. Some examples that my clients often tell me are that the coyote made them carry a backpack with their drugs when they crossed the border, or that once they were in the U.S., for example, if there's a house where many men are staying until they're released to their families, the coyotes will make the women cook and clean for all of the men. This is forced labor. The coyotes will also extort my clients and their families for more money before they release them once on U.S. soil. A third common kind of trafficking, which I see often in my office, is known as domestic violence-based trafficking. Now, this may seem like an ordinary domestic violence-based marriage case. Another type of case I often see is where there's two things involved. You're being trafficked and you're being abused. One example of this is where you came to the U.S., you met a man, you fell in love, you married him, and you quickly realized that it was an abusive marriage. However, not only is it abusive, but he is also controlling your every movement. Being forced to cook, clean, and take care of the children, and also having no freedom at all to do anything but exactly what your husband commands at home, is a form of trafficking. Perhaps your husband even paid for you to come to the United States in the first place, so the abuse, coupled with the fact that he paid to bring you here, forms a trafficking case. I know you're probably really nervous about considering filing a T visa case. However, immigration's not going to be able to call your boss or your employer or your spouse to ask them questions. The U.S. government is going to try to protect you from any sort of severe abuse like this. But of course, you have to be honest and tell immigration the truth. So if you hire us to file a T visa case for you, we'll work carefully with you to prepare your case. Once we file it with immigration, it takes around 1.5 to 2 years to receive a decision on your case. When you file a T visa case, you don't get any benefits while it's pending. However, after your T visa case is approved, you'll automatically receive a work permit if you're the primary applicant, and we can also then apply for a travel permit for you so you can return to your home country. But you can't travel until you get the approval. So I know what you're thinking. 1.5 to 2 years is a really long time to wait for a decision, but honestly, that's nothing. That's 2% or less of your entire lifetime. I can't speak for other immigration attorneys, but in my office we have a 100% success rate on T visa cases that we've filed at this time. Now, that doesn't guarantee that I can win your case. All I can do is my best job for you, and then the decision is up to immigration. But I want you to know that when we prepare and file a T visa case, we submit a case that's this thick to immigration. We're providing all of the important documents to immigration: proof of your entry, how you came to America, proof that you've been exploited and taken advantage of, proof that you were harmed, proof that you would suffer if you were forced to go back to your home country, proof that you're here because of what you experienced. If your T visa gets denied, it's not the end of the world. A really good attorney is going to be able to help you determine if we could motion to reopen, motion to reconsider, appeal, or possibly even refile your case from scratch. That's why it really matters who you hire. And please, definitely don't try to do these things on your own. Listen, I know this is a whole lot of legal talk. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. All you need to do is call us and we'll help you figure out all the rest. I'm attorney Jennifer Bennett, and my office has filed over 500 T visa applications. And I would love to do your case next.